Hey there, everybody. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another episode of my Top 30 Southern Rock Album Countdown. This is actually day 3, pick 28. I have to kind of get used to saying that kind of in reverse. As I'm counting down from number 30 to my number 1, my favorite Southern rock albums of all time. Like I mentioned at the beginning, you're probably going to see a few bands that are going to pop up a couple times in here because some of the more notable ones have, more than one album that I deem top 30 worthy. I've also, because we've had a bunch of people asking in the comments various questions about like what is Southern rock and what constitutes a Southern rock band, and am I going to include live albums? I'm not going to include live albums this month, only because basically, if I did, almost every one of these bands has a killer live album, and the whole list will be full of live albums. What I may do at some other episode, I may just list my favorite Southern rock live albums, right? Just to kind of satisfy everybody on that particular one. Also, for me, these bands have to originate from the South. I've had people asking about, like Little Feat and, British bands and all. No, they have to originate from the South. And, the music's gotta be sort of rootsy, bluesy, bits of jazz and pop and gospel and, that sort of thing. And rock, of course, doesn't necessarily have to feature slide guitars. But, the band's got to originate from the South. It's got to have that kind of rootsy quality. I think, most people know what Southern rock is. Had a couple people asking, what about some of the, more instrumental bands who came from down South? So as much as I love the Dixie Dregs, because they are a Southern band, I'm not going to count them because they're more like a fusion band, right? They play all instrumental music, say for like a song or two on one of their albums, and they kind of don't fit here. All right, so these are vocal-oriented bands, originating from the South, and they kind of blend, like I said, blues and country and jazz and pop and rock, rootsy type of stuff. Some of them incorporate a little bluegrass as well. Also not picking, a lot of the West Coast bands, like the Eagles, like I mentioned, Little Feat before. There's various, the Flying Burrito Brothers. I mean, they're not Southern bands. Okay, so I think of Southern, Texas, Louisiana, the Carolinas, Florida, Georgia, all on the southern coast there. That's what I kind of consider as a Southern rock band. So anyway, pick number 28. This is a very cool album by a band that I got to say, thanks to Mr. Jim Bakke, a regular contributor to the channel, especially on the Guitarist Corner show. He has been getting a lot of us here on the channel all jazzed up once again about the Black Crowes. So picking one of them here today, Day 28. It's their second album, released May 12th, 1992. Released on Deaf American, produced by George Jorkulius and the band Southern Harmony and Musical Companion. This little band from Georgia has quite a few albums that probably could be considered here. And, I think for me, I really, really like a lot of their albums. In fact, I don't think they've ever made a bad one. But I think this album for me is when they truly became the Black Crowes that we, have really gotten to know all throughout the years. The first album is great. It's classic. That's their biggest seller. That's the one where they kind of burst on the scene with their kind of, rockin' blend of Rolling Stones and the Faces. More, I think, a tribute to a lot of the great British bands, of the 60s and 70s, but it was with this album that I think they truly embraced their roots. And while they still held on to a little bit of those kind of Faces and Stones elements in their music, this is a full-blown Southern rock album. This is where they embraced kind of the Americana. You can hear Almonds on here, you can hear Skinner on here, and maybe little Charlie Daniels, and there's great pop on this album. There's great gospel and blues and slide guitars all over the place. Really, really strong album. Could be their best, right? Arguably. Rich Robinson on guitars, Chris Robinson on vocals, Mark Ford, first album with the band, on guitar, Johnny Colt on bass guitar, Steve Gorman, the great Steve Gorman, on drums, and Eddie Harsh on keyboards. And just a really great mix of songs, Sting Me and Remedy, the two tracks that open it up, both vibrant rockers. Sting Me is just a Killer song, one of the great openers of the 90s. Killer song. Remedy was the hit on this album. Very up tempo. Remedy is very reminiscent to the first album, I think. Then you got the very gospel bluesy-ish Thorn in My Pride. Lovely song, great lead guitars. Bad Luck, Blue Eyes Goodbye. Love that one as well. Sometimes Salvation, gritty southern rocker. Killer vocals from Mr. Robinson. Kind of channels his little inner, like Janis Joplin sort of, right? Hotel Illness, a little bit more of a mellow song. Great chorus, great melody. Black Moon Creepin', might be my favorite song on the album. I don't know, it's one of them. Really good, raunchy hard rocker. No Speak, No Slave, another strong song. My Morning Song, absolutely terrific. The guitar work on this whole album is killer. Loads of like acoustic guitar textures and lots of slide guitar on this album. I mean, this is the Black Crowes all of a sudden like saying, okay, we had the first album, made a lot of money, sold a lot of copies. Now we're going to do the thing that we were meant to do. And, you know, on subsequent albums, they would embrace their southern rock, their inner southern rock even more, as well as like start doing a lot of jamming, because this band appeals to the jam crowd just as much as they do to the southern rock crowd. So you would start to see more of that, and there's a good amount of jamming on here, which is great. And then the lovely, again, more gospel pop tinge Time Will Tell kind of finishes it all off. So a really, really strong album that I think just gets better with age. I mean, a lot of these Black Crowes albums are just really so strong. And it's funny because like I listened to them quite a bit early on, then I just kind of got off the Black Crowes train for many, many years. And in recent months, I have gotten back into the latter half of the catalog. And, you know, I got to say, and I'll save this for the Ranking the Album show that we're going to be doing this month, actually, in just a couple weeks. I find that the first album, while still, you know, the album that grabbed everybody, I find that I'm listening to and loving more of the middle period and latter stuff than that first album, because I think that everything we saw after that first album is more of what the Black Crowes are truly all about. So, but like I said, more on that later when we have a handful of us are going to be ranking the albums of the Black Crowes in just a couple of weeks, so stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, let us know what you think of Southern Harmony and Musical Companion, the second album from the Black Crowes, which is my pick today for number 28. Stay tuned tomorrow for number 27, and each and every day this month as we count down my favorite 30 Southern rock albums of all time. Visit us on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, all together, all the damn time. So what do we got coming up here? Lots happening on the channel, of course. It is Friday morning, so stay tuned for not only for Fusion Friday, all right, where we're going to be talking about some cool fusion albums. We've also got Friday morning at the Funhouse with Martin Popoff and myself, so a lot happening this Friday. So stay tuned for all that. UK Connection coming at you tomorrow, and album homework assignment coming up on Sunday. Butch Jones and myself with Lynn Versace hosting. That's happening on Sunday, and then we start the week all over again with the Hudson Valley Squares on Monday, picking our favorite albums from 1973. So lots going on at the channel. Tuesday in the prog seat, looking at our favorite krautrock albums. Wednesday, new album reviews. We've got, let's see, a brand new album from a great prog band called Bubble Math. We've got cool Nectar archival live album from 2005. All sorts of other things coming in, happening. We've got a new Michael Schenker group, all sorts of stuff. So in the weeks ahead. And then Thursday, once again, the Monsters Den next week, where we'll be doing our top 5, a countdown of our top 5 favorite Mario Bava Italian horror thrillers. That's coming up next Thursday on the Monsters Den. Then Martin Popoff and I are back, and then the whole thing just kind of continues on and on and on. So thanks for watching, everybody. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and click on that notification bell. We've got links below to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations, as well as the link to our merch page, where you can get all cool, sorts of cool Sea of Tranquility shirts and hats and hoodies and caps and stickers and coffee mugs and all that good stuff. Lots of new designs. We got a brand new design that's there as well. So click the link below, go over and check that out, see if it's something you like that maybe you want to pick up and wear out proudly. So thanks for watching, everybody. I'm Pete Pardo. Have a good one. See you real soon. Bye-bye.